Somebody, can you fix this right here?
What you need to do to pick it up or?
It's like right here.
Oh,
I don't know why. You know, how is it normally look like it's
I
linked
don't know,
over or
it's
something?
something different, no?
Man.
I don't want to break it, you know me.
Take the handle and push.
Push up.
Yeah, push it down. Take the handle and push it down the other way. That's up.
I never thought I heard it done. He said, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
What about this? That good?
That's fine.
You make it right there down.
Yeah, get rid of that. Okay, because I don't need your phone. Hey, Trevon, I'm gonna move you. Trevon, pass this down. All right, Israel, Most High Christ bless your body. All right, so we're gonna get more into our lesson concerning the Passover, so this should be part 7.
Welcome to free conference calling. The conference has not started. Join the conference.
All right, so where do we stop at?
Chapter 6 and verse 18.
A lot of reading today. Let's go. Exodus chapter 6.
He said you might just give it his name. Something like that.
Right. So at the end of chapter 6, Exodus 6, Most High was showing us the genealogy of Reuben, Simeon, and Levi. Okay? So we'll skip over to verse 26. And these are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Lord said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies. So the Most High called Israel an army. Armies. Talking about the tribes. Their armies. Okay? So it was militant. They wasn't soft, feminine, weak, feeble. You know, they were masculine, dominant men. You know, so stop, trying to and visualize the men of Israel and kind of like, what they call it when they profile you. You expect them to be, you expect us to be suited and booted like, in the Christian church. Our beards cut off, us frail and skinny with hard bottom shoes on, neckties, very soft, don't want to talk about something, ain't gonna be, it's not like that. We are soldiers. And soldiers, we ready to fight. But through the spirit of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushua, the Most High and Yahushua has taught us how to deal and how to behave, with our people. So, like the scriptures say, oppression make a wise man mad. So it's making it ain't a dumb man. She ain't tripping off oppression. He ain't mad. A man, what's the opposite of dumb? Wise, ignorant. Ignorant. Scriptures call, call you ignorant. A person that's ignorant, he's not mad. He's fine with the way things are. I've heard people say that, I'm fine with how things are. They fine. Of course, they got doubles on them to say that. But when you see, the men of Israel in all different type of ways, in all different, the diversities of the spirit, some are sharper than others. Some be like, get down there, cracker, and kiss this boot. It might not be in the next book. But is he wrong for saying that? No. Kiss his foot. You're a prince in Israel. Kiss his foot. The Bible says you're going to lick the dust. Kiss his boot. He asked you. Me, I don't want you touching me. So, I know I'm just exaggerating and I'm going on and on, but the scriptures say armies. So the Most High brought Israel up according to their armies. So this is verse 27, and these are they which spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. So Moses and Aaron had support. The elders of the people, they was with him. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass on the day when the Lord spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Lord. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before the Lord, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Now, was his uncircumcised would be considered unclean. He knew that Pharaoh wouldn't respect him. A lot of us, we would think that Pharaoh ain't gonna, Pharaoh ain't gonna respect him. A lot of people think that others might not respect what you're saying. But the scriptures teach you whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Meaning they would try and stop you from correcting them. You're not to fear the face of man. You're supposed to bring out the scriptures. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay? So, Exodus 7:1, and the Lord said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh. You see? So Moses was like a god on earth. When it came to Pharaoh, Moses had the power of the Most High. You understand? Just like the Hamashiach Yahushua had the power of the Most High to where he could heal people, he can do things. Moses had spiritual power. Before he didn't have that. The Most High gave that to him. And so when he would go before the Pharaoh, Moses would be doing things that nobody could do on the face of the earth. He would be like God manifested in the flesh, man. He was a power. He was amazing. He was remarkable. But note to self, he was not like, what is old boy name that played on the movie that had the spiritual power and he was drunk, he was flying all over the place, Hancock. He wasn't like that. You see, so I didn't like that character. Everybody laughed at the movie and so on and so forth. But the truth be told, the Most High gave men power like that. The disciples, after Yahushua left, they were like a legion of gods on the earth. They had spiritual power, man. For real. They had spiritual power to do wonders, works, and miracles. They were endued. They walked the earth. The Most High was manifesting power in them as they walked on the earth. Y'all heard what's being said. They were like gods on the earth. They had power to do things. They was making a blind to see, the lame to walk. That's power. I ain't talking about you moving a piece of paper. You making a can slide. No. No, they had real power. That's how they were. It wasn't, all the men that the Most High gave power to do, they wasn't rebellious. Like, every time Esau make a superhero, he has to be a villain, a thief, a murderer. He has to destroy the environment. Because that's how he is. That's what he stands for. We're not to be like that. We're not to think like that. You're not to take the thing that the Most High give to you and abuse it and use it and do the wrong thing with it. You take it and do and be found faithful. Do what the Most High give it to you to do. If he trusts you with that which is least, then you'll be faithful in things that are much. Most High give a lot of the Most High give you these gifts and talents in trades, things that don't require supernatural power, energy of some sort. Are you faithful in that? The Most High give you jobs and responsibilities, talents. He give your mind ability to think. The Most High, everything that you got because the Most High gave it to you. How are you using it? Are you using it to help other people? Are you giving it away, or do you sell it? The scriptures say freely receive, freely give. Do you give your trade away, or do you sell it? But anyway, chapter 7 and verse 1, it says, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. So Moses was going to be big shot, and then Aaron will be his spokesperson for him. And he will speak through Aaron, and God will speak through Moses. That's order. That's order. That's order that we have to respect. So Exodus 7 and 2, thou shalt speak all that I shall command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh that he send the children of Israel out of his land, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt. And so I know that in this time period where Pharaoh is not hearkening until Moses and Aaron and the rest of the elders, who's suffering? The people. It's the same thing now. The Most High is speaking to his servants and prophets. They going out in Washington, they going to the White House, they going to Capitol Hill, Guess who's not listening? Pharaoh's not listening. You don't think if somebody was outside of your house cussing and fussing and making noise, you wouldn't peep out the blinds? And they got cameras so they can see. You could tell they see. It was all on CNN. You could tell that they could see. You understand? They got drones. We just watched all the natural disasters that was happening in Nebraska and Omaha, and you see that drone work. Man was fly close to the water, fly backwards for miles, letting you see as the scene get wider and wider. He said, "I'm doing this so y'all can see." Look at the drone working at. They know they can see. They so-called got satellites. Is that turned up down there? They can see. So who's not listening? Pharaoh's not listening. But right here, what did the Most High say he's doing to Pharaoh? Hardening his heart. And while his heart is hardening, what is the state and the condition of the people? They're suffering, living conditions, food, water. You get people in Venezuela, they saying that they ain't had adequate food in a week now. Got no running water in a week now. They're eating out of trash. They doing all they suffering. They having it bad. But who's not listening? Why the word of the Most High coming out saying deal right with us? The Pharaoh's not listening. And who's hardening his heart? The Most High is hardening his heart. The same thing is happening again. It's going to tell you why. That's why I stopped to elaborate on it. So now, Exodus 7:3, I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. So the whole reason the Most High wants him to be rebellious is so that he could multiply. That means bring forth additional hardships on him. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth my armies, okay, and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. So these Egyptians, they're going to know about the Most High. When the Most High deal with them, they're going to say the God of the Bible is real. Okay? You got a lot of believing heathens as it is right now. And those same believing heathens, you know what they're doing? They're giving you respect that you're God's people. And they are sorrowful and they are remorseful that their relatives have dealt with you a certain way. They can't do nothing. I don't want to say what they can't do, but they might not do nothing for you. But they acknowledge, and those are the ones that are going to go into captivity. The ones that are rebellious and the ones that are stubborn, they're going to get put to death. Okay, verse 6. And Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them, so did they. And that's what we have to do. When the people was sighing and crying and having issues, they took it to the Most High. They couldn't argue back and forth with the people. They took it to the Most High. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old when they spake unto Pharaoh. Check this out. Y'all know how old that is? That's older than everybody in here. 80 years old. And Moses' big brother Aaron was 83 years of age. Those were older men. So now keep disrespecting the older men if you want to. The Most High is dealing with those older men. You think, you know what you're talking about. This is who you flipping the lip. This is the new age. Do you know how to use the computer? Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to get on the internet? Do you know? You see all of that? Straight ignorance. This dude was 80 years old Now, all the time, we walk past people that are 80 years old, like, oh, you lived your life. You don't know what you're talking about. You walking past the people that the Most High used. 80 years of age. Don't get it mistaken. Don't get it twisted. Most of us are still caught up in youthful lust. That's right. You still caught up in youthful lust. You don't know the Most High. We're trying to teach you about the Most High. The Most High tell you to ask us. Because you don't know. Most of you think you know. You do not know, man. You still full of youthful lust. You still got your eyes over one another. You still going astray. You lusting after evil things. Lusting after one another's body. That's a lewd behavior, man. That's an evil thing right there. Still lusting over drugs, man. Excessive alcohol, revelings. Your heart has gone so far in this world, you have not begun to change. You do not know what's going on, man. The Lord said, ask thy elders, they shall tell you. This dude was 80-something years old, man. One was 80 and the other was 83 years old. If we saw men like that today, you'll be like, you will be thinking, all praises that you lived your life, but you'll be thinking, you done with. You done with. Now the Most High has raised up this one here. He's young. He's young. He's right. The Most High is raising him up. The Most High is dealing with him. Thou fool! You think the Most High implanted that tree and give that tree all that wisdom, all that experience for nothing? No, you the one that does that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I think it's Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter. Let's see.
Oh, no, that's 34. 34 and no, I'm sorry, 7. I'm sorry, chapter 7. You was in the right. Sorry. Chapter 7 and verse
It's warm.
18, 7.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 7:18. Thanks. Ecclesiastes 7. That's one of them. That's another one. Let me see. It's another one. This is a one-on-one.
That's in the gospel, isn't it?
No. I'm looking too fast. We can get the first one. No, that's not it. I'm looking too fast. tells you that it tells you that he's not compatible. You understand? The next one, you don't just, once you get this friend, you don't trade him in, man. The Most High doesn't do that. Nine. It's Ecclesiastes 9. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. We do that, not the Most High. All right, read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 10.
All right.
Forsake not an old friend,
Go ahead.
for the new is not compatible
For
to
the
him.
new is not compatible to him. The old just get better, man. That's what happens. The age just get better. We see somebody young, we say, oh, this one is young and this one is thriving. You know what this one knows how to do? Recite. Got a good memory, like an actor. This one doesn't know the wiles of the devil. But the old one, read the next part.
A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure.
The old one is good. You understand? The old one is good. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. It's like wine. The old one, you're supposed to have pleasure in that because they didn't walk that path for no reason. You understand? And that's how the Most High is. They didn't walk that path for no reason. Forsake not an old friend, for the new one is not, you cannot compare the new with the old to him. A new friend is as new wine. Okay? Only when it's old, only when it's aged, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. Okay? So I said that to say that's why the Most High used Aaron and Moses. They was in their 80s. Yeah, he knew everybody by name, by voice. He knew their actions. He knew everything. But he didn't trade them. He said, "Oh well, these are younger. You know, they more vibrant. The ones that had vibrant in them, they got swallowed up at the ground. That's what happened with them. They went against the Moses. They went against Aaron and Moses, and they got swallowed up. Okay, so let's go back to Exodus. Okay, Exodus chapter 17. Exodus chapter 7. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 8. So, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a snake. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Pharaoh cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. So we dealt with how they were able to do that. They were dealing with Satan. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods, and he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord has said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning, and lo, he goeth out into the water, And thou shalt stand at the river's brink against he come, and the rod which was turned to a serpent thou shalt take in thy hand, and thou shalt say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews. See, notice this. The Lord God of the Hebrews. Okay? You notice people don't talk about the Most High, the God of the Hebrews. It's everybody's God. Example. In the camp today, there was a brother that we were speaking to, that I was speaking to, and he spoke upon our people coming together to fight against the government. Now take it, he's read the Bible before, he's read some scriptures before, but I think it probably just got away from him, because he came back to the recollection that he was Israel and stuff like that. But he was like, well, if everybody just come together and put their religious differences down, the Christians, the Muslims, and then you start quoting the Quran and and the Hebrews and this, that, and that, and we can stand against this, that, and that. So after calmly letting him talk and say his piece, I said, I want you to think about something. Then I went into the scriptures, and then I showed him John 10, where Christ said he was the door, and if any man enter not into the sheepfold by the way of the door, the same as a thief. I said, brother, to be honest, we've tried that before. And what happened? We all got destroyed. I said, by Christ being the door, what's in the sheepfold? Nothing but sheep. Those are Israelites. So you have to return back unto the Father as an Israelite. And that's the only way. I'm saying, and then I continue to tell him that, listen, the God of the Hebrews, the Most High, is only going to protect you. Then I took him to 2nd Ezra 16:76, that teach you that the Most High is only going to guide them that keep his commandments and his precepts. You're trying to make a band and link up with people that's not keeping these commandments, you're going to be destroyed. So after dealing with him with many other things, he was completely humble and said, you know what, I see the difference and I understand. And I like and appreciate the way that you coming out the scriptures. You didn't put nothing on it. You just explained it how it is. And that's how it has to be. So the reason why I'm saying that is this is very specific. And society has taken this away. When it says, verse 16, Exodus 7:16, thou shalt say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews. That's very specific. This God is the God of the Hebrews. This God is not the God of all humanity. Humanity have their own gods. Their gods are idols. Did the Most High make them? Yes, but they chose not to deal with the Most High. That's a choice that they chose. We didn't choose that for them. They chose that for themselves. Get Psalms 96.
Got it.
Okay? And verse 5, yeah.
This is Psalms chapter 96 and verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Right. All the gods of the nations. Okay? Now let's exclude Israel. So all the nations that exist. Read it again.
Psalms 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Right. All the gods of the nations are idols. Go ahead.
But the Lord made the heavens.
You see that? But who? But the Lord. So the Most High, he made the heavens. Okay? So it's telling you that what? The Most High, He made the heavens. He is the God of the Hebrews. He is different from all the gods. Now, the problem with Israelites today that are in the world, they have begun to worship the gods of the other nations, and they don't realize it. By their behavior, by what they commit their mind to, what they commit their hand to. That's why the scriptures talk about the mark of the beast. The beast is referring to the Roman Empire. Okay? And the mark that's in the forehead is their philosophy, and the mark that's in your right hand is what you contribute to. It's also the RFID chip. It's also that. So most of our people, they already got the mark of the beast. Your mothers, they got the mark of the beast. Your fathers, your uncles, your aunties. Because soon as they tell them that, hey, just like you can't get your money, I was with this brother a whole day. It drove him nuts. He couldn't even get his money. They played games. So now just imagine, they give him checks, they send him a card, it goes to the wrong ID, they give him checks, the checks don't work. They send him from place to place trying to cash the check. They didn't want to honor the check. The check had bank letterheads, they didn't want to honor the check. He's sitting there almost $2,000, can't get his money. Going from place to place. Now just imagine what's going to happen when you can't electronically upload it into your hand. Where your money going to be at? Stuck in their system. You ain't never getting it. Did they let them funds go, bro?
Eventually,
But was they letting it go?
no.
No matter what you did, you had to find the right hoop to jump through in order to get it. Now just imagine if they said that you need to hit that wrist with it, that hand with it. You think you're gonna ever get that money? No matter where you go, they not releasing it. It doesn't matter how much in there, and they ain't giving it to nobody else. Cause ain't nobody else named Jonathan Doe. So ain't nobody getting it. You ain't getting it unless you put that in you, and ain't nobody else getting it. You're stuck. The God of the Hebrews is not the same God of this world. The God of this world is there's a lot of gods and idols in this world. And the only way that you gonna know who you dealing with is if you specify the God of the Hebrews, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Believe it or not. Okay? It's another one I want. I'm digging these old precepts up, man, that I ain't thought upon. About every man will go to his God.
Micah.
Yeah. Exactly. Open right to it. Micah 4 and 5.
So this is Micah chapter 4 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
For all people,
No, let them get it. This people still time. This is a good precept for y'all to highlight. If you write in your Bibles, this will be one to highlight. Micah chapter 4 And verse 5 is right after Jonah and right before Habakkuk, which is before Zechariah. Find Zechariah and then start turning backwards. Find Zechariah and then start turning backwards. All right.
Micah 4 and 5. For all people will walk every one in the name of his God.
Now you're seeing that. That's not the God of the Hebrews. All right. For all people will walk everyone in the name of his God. So whatever idol that they put up, that's what they're dealing with. Stop thinking that these people is dealing with the God of the Hebrews, what your fathers have done. No, man. No. Shame on you for thinking that. We're telling you. Other people have told you. The Bible is telling you. Hold on, some people still ain't found it. What page is it? If y'all got the same Bible, just say what page it is. Got it? Go ahead, start over.
This is Micah chapter 4 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
For all people.
For all people, this is referring to the nations. This is referring to the nations. For every nation, read.
Will walk, every one, in the name of his God.
Will walk. And what do you think that walk is doing? It's going to keep customs, traditions. It's going to keep laws that they made up. That's why you see they doing all this type of stuff. You see Asians, they eat cats, rats, dogs, people. See, the Chinese market is a foot. In the grocery store, it's a human foot. Okay, a female foot. She took care of her feet. You can see she doing a pedicure every week. It's a foot. A pedicure foot on display in the grocery store. It was a young foot too. They were walking in the name of their gods. Okay? Go ahead.
And we will walk.
And we, meaning us Hebrews, we will walk, go ahead.
In the name of the Lord.
We would walk in the name of Yahweh. That's the name the Most High gave us. If you say a higher, fine. Fine. I am. That's what a higher means. I am. Fine. You contributing your walk towards the God of the Hebrews. Ain't got no issue with you. The only time we're gonna have an issue with you is if you are setting a bad example. You're not trying to keep the commandments. It takes a spirit to walk. It takes a spirit to walk in the commandment. It's jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a spirit to walk in the commandments. Know that. If somebody's gonna say that they're keeping the commandments, they serving the Most High. We talked about this. Remember in class? How do you know if somebody is? What was the question again? It was we was in Acts, and the Simon was trying to. He had bewitched the people, and Philip was dealing with him. Acts 8 or 9, somewhere around there.
You talking about the good or bad question? How do you know somebody?
Somewhere in the nature. How do you know if they applying the scriptures? You know, if they come in with this, I can't think.
Spirit of truth and a lie.
What's the difference in the spirit of truth and then it was It has something to do with the witchcraft or something like that, the sorcery, bewitching. Did that YouTube stop down there? You saw it? It's still going? So it's just froze here. How can you tell the difference between the spirit of truth and what Simon was dealing with? Because if you wanted to know if he was going to deal right or not, and then the answer was, remember how we went over what was the truth? Psalms 147, 119, 142, like law is the truth, right? So a person going to be dealing with the law. So if you're going to know if somebody's dealing with the Most High, what God they're dealing with, you got to be keeping these laws, statutes, and the commandments. You have to be doing something. You can't just be all the way cold turkey. You claiming the God of the Hebrews, but you ain't keeping no laws. You dealing with Satan. You the author of confusion. You lying. He that said, I know him and keep not his commandments, is a liar. Somebody said that the YouTube video is frozen, but audio is still playing on it. The audio is good. Hey, grab this. We can start it over.